It's 8:42, Baton Rouge's Morning News. Karen Henderson and Kevin Meeks. Some bad news for college students, parents that are paying for those college educations. Interest rates on federal student loans are set to rise July 1st. And we want to figure out how to navigate this and prepare for this with local financial professional John+Neyland from JCN Financial. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing great. What can you do to help us? What does this new interest rate mean for students taking out loans?
Well, it means they're going to be paying more. The rate increase means that Stafford loan borrowers will pay about $46 more a year for each $10,000 they borrow, and it only gets worse because last year Congress passed a law tying the interest rates to U.S. Treasury notes, so they're likely to go up each year. And now the interest rates are locked in for the life of the loan. The rate hike has a vast impact. About 7 million undergrads took out subsidized loans for the year 2013-14.
Now, I know that because Karen is participating in this, that the state has the program, the matching funds that you can say.
The 529.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the number. The 529 program, where they'll match a certain amount of money that you can put in for your kids for educational purposes down the road, which sounds like a great idea to me. I mean, don't you ever... You have to go way back on this, but don't you have a responsibility if you're going to have kids that you have to start planning for this?
Well, yeah, you do, Kevin, but I find the average person, the average parent, doesn't actually know how to plan for this. Yeah. So I think it's very difficult, to teach your child something you're not really familiar with.
Yeah.
It's amazed me. I've been visiting with a few of my clients' children this year. And although in Louisiana they say the average child graduates with $23,000 in debt, I've not come across anybody with that little bit yet. Had a guy in my office last week. He has $60,000 of student debt. He's dropped out of college. He has 2 years left to go.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness gracious.
But we didn't have as much a problem when we were in college. I think part of it is when they get these student loans today, it looks like free money. So you find they may be spending money on things other than the necessities. I think that's part of the problem. They just aren't. The loan is used to fund a lifestyle. And my son has finished up LSU. He's over at school in Bristol Academy over in New Iberia. And I've helped him get through without any student debt. But I look at these kids graduating with 20, 30, 40. Can you imagine graduating with $50,000 in student debt?
And Gosh. You did it just to basically live through your college life. Hey, 2 words: ramen noodles, right?
A good buddy of mine lived off ramen noodles and what was macaroni and cheese.
Sure.
And he talks about that today, but probably if he had to do it over again, he'd do it the same way. So I really think it's a bigger issue than just that student loan debt. It's debt overall.
Okay.
Now, once you have that debt, some big mistakes that you may make is not communicating with your lender. If you can't make your payment, you need to call them, because the student loan debt can't be discharged in bankruptcy, and it can really damage your credit substantially. If you've graduated and you don't have a job, you want to contact your lender, because you may be able to get a forbearance to where you can put off having to make payments until that time comes. But I think overall, education is key. We for our clients, for children, we have classes called Young Guns, which kind of teaches the ABCs of finance, and you'd be amazed how many parents come that learn stuff themselves. So it's not just the interest rate that's a problem. I think it's these young people that really don't understand.
Understanding about debt. Yeah, educating yourself about paying for an education.
Yeah, really, and if you're going to borrow the money, you better get that education. Can you imagine all this debt and not graduating?
Yeah, to start with that'd be terrible. So
I've got it's
prepare and educate yourself. This is
I think
good advice, John.
Mom and son and dad and son and daughter ought to all. It's a very good investment of your time to understand this. If you've got, it's not just a student loan debt. If you graduate, now you've got a car loan. You may have a house note. You need to service your debt, but you want to pay the debt with the highest interest rate, the largest amount to that debt, to retire it sooner. So you've got 4 or 5 different debts, or 2 or 3 different debts. Pay the minimum payment on all but your one with the highest rate, and then pay a larger amount to pay it off.
Very good advice. John+Neyland's a local financial expert here, and he's with JCN Financial. As always, good advice. Good to have you on, John.
One last thing, you need to. Everybody should take the first step to search the National Student Loan Data website. I've got a link for that on my website, and it'll compile all of your student loan debt to where you'll see where it is. So if you go to jcnfinancial.com, I've got a link on there. It's the National Student Loan Data System website.
Very good, John. Thanks so much.
Thank y'all.